Sometimes the most inconspicuous places have the best and most colourful history. Today we will be exploring a 700-year-old pond that was dug by a demon. Kathmandu and Patan are just such amazing places, and every single corner you turn there will be something to see or to do or experience. It's sometimes very easy to get caught up in all these awe-inspiring temples and monuments and stupas and to ignore the things that at first inspection maybe look mundane or normal or maybe not even that old. Take Bhimbahal Pokhari for instance. Bhimbahal Pokhari is one of the places that my husband and I walk past every single time we go to Patan, and it is just a place for us, or it was just a place for us, that we said, hey, we're at Bhimbahal, so it's just that road straight and then we're at Durbar Square. And we never really walked around there or stood still about the history of the place or had a closer look even at the temple in the middle of the pond. Little did we know that Bhimbahal Pokhari actually has a very juicy history. There are two distinct legends concerning Bhimbahal Pokhari. One tells a story of how the area where we are today was once the home of lackeys, and lackeys are demons from Nepali folklore. And if you're visiting Nepal during the festival season, you will surely see some men dressed up as lackeys in gorgeous parades dancing to Nepali drums. Anyway, having lackeys live near your house was not very fun because the lackeys would break into your house, they would haunt your house, scare your kid. I mean, you get the gist. It's not very fun to live with a lackey near you. There was a lot of mischief and the local people were not very happy. So a local man came to the rescue. Gaya Baje, a smart man living in the neighborhood, came up with a plan to chase away the lackeys. He would dig up the earth that they were haunting and make sure that the pit was filled with water so the lackeys would never be able to come back. Now, that's a cool story, bro, but I did say that there were two legends concerning Bhimbahal Pokhari. And the other legend, to be fair, is kind of sweet. It's a romance story. But before we go on, I would like to ask you to like this video and to subscribe so more people can watch it in the search results. So the second legend talks about a lackey and his wife. The two were deeply in love and he would miss her the moment she stepped out of his sight. In the 14th century, however, there were no Pokharis. Pokharis are ponds nearby here in Lalitpur, where we are today. And in winter, the water spouts would run out of water. So in the end, the wife of the lackey actually had to go quite a long way in order to get water. And I would guess that she had to go to the Bagmati, which is about 1.5 kilometers that way. And it's not an easy road either. But the lackey was a very good husband because he decided to build Bhimbahal Pokhari in one night so that his wife would not need to walk so far to get a bucket of water. If that is not love, I don't know what is. This is a picture of Bhimbahal Pokhari in 1884 and it's currently in the collection of the British National Library. I love these kinds of pictures just because you can see how much things have changed over the years. Here you can see the Krishna temple and here you can see the stupa, and then here you can see one other temple as well that's still here. The stupa as well is really cool. It's over 700 years old and in 1357 it was actually attacked by Muslim invaders. We can also see buildings that did not withstand the hand of time on the other side of Bhimbahal Pokhari, but the temple is still there. It is behind the building now and it doesn't look as high anymore, but it's still there. And this temple dates back to 1663. So what happened to the houses that are not there anymore? Well, we can actually only guess, but in 1934 there was a large earthquake in Nepal and India. And I mentioned this earthquake before in my video about Mahabudha. They kind of had the same problem with Bhimbahal Pokhari as they had when restoring Mahabudha temple. They didn't actually know what it looked like before. So they decided to restore Pim Mahal Bukhari based on a painting that they have from Henry Ambrose Oldfield. He is someone who traveled through Kathmandu Valley, Lalitpur here, Patan, Kathmandu, but also Bhaktapur to make paintings and drawings of the Kathmandu Valley. In 1967, the Nepali government decided that it might be an amazing idea to build a market on top of Pim Mahal Bukhari. Luckily, the local people protested against it and the government decided to backtrack and not build a market on this beautiful pond. Then in 2015, Patang got hit by the Nepal earthquake and Pim Mahal Bukhari was damaged yet again, together with many modern and historical buildings in the area and on the Patan River Square. Pim Mahal was ultimately restored in 2007 to the beautiful pond that we see, know and love today. So you see, you can't just dismiss something because you see it every day or because you think it's quite new, because there might actually be a really cool history behind it, especially in Nepal. I'm really thirsty now, so I think it is time to get a glass bottled Coke and a corn dog or a laughing in one of the cafes here. But anyway, I will see you next week. Bye.